Coronado refused.
Fused, okay. All right, thank you. All right, and I see Ms. Nagley is present for the county attorney's office. Who do we have from the public defender's office?
Jay Smith today, Your Honor.
Jay Smith. Good morning to everyone. All right. Any objection from state and defense to continuing Mr. Coronado to the evening session?
No objection from the state, Your Honor.
No objection from the defense, Your Honor.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Ms. Nagley and pretrial. Mr. Coronado will be seen this evening. Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
Good morning, sir. My name is Benjamin William Wilson.
All right, Mr. Wilson, this is a review hearing on your out-of-county case. You still have local charges pending, so we're going to continue today's hearing. Next hearing is going to be May 8th at 9 o'clock in the morning. All right, any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Give me one second. Yes, okay. All right, thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
Oh, what are the charges actually for?
For the ones in Navajo County, looks like criminal damage. It says damaged property, so I'm gonna assume that's criminal damage. Yes. Okay,
Okay, May 8th.
it's gonna be May 8th at 9. Yes.
Okay, am I gonna be getting extradited?
You can talk to your lawyer on your local charges about that, but eventually that warrant will be served. In other words, you'll be transported to wherever, to Navajo County.
Oh, so I will be getting transported from here to there?
Yeah, it's up to Navajo County.
Okay,
Okay? All right. Thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are you moving? No?
They'll be reaching.
Oh, okay.
You got to serve you got to serve.
Good morning, sir. At the jail, can I have your name, please?
Devon Murphy?
All right. right. Mr. Murphy, this is a review hearing on your Maricopa County cases. You still have
Is it-
local charges pending, so today's hearing is going to be continued to May 8th at 9 o'clock.
May 8th at 9 o'clock?
Yes, that's correct. All
All
right.
right, sir.
Thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Can I help you with something, sir?
I don't know if it's right going now, motions,
Motions would be room 104.
on what?
104, right before you're ready to leave the entire building, on your left, there's a set of double doors that are glass. You'll be able to go through that, okay? Sure.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Can I have your name, please?
Christopher Michael Marks.
All right, Mr. Marks, this is a review hearing on your out-of-county cases. It looks like the only charges that you have remaining are those charges. In other words, you're no longer held on the local charges. So it should just be a matter of time until Santa Cruz County comes and picks you up. I'm going to set a review hearing for May 8th at 9 o'clock to make sure that we keep on track of that bond, okay?
And so you're giving them 30 days, not 10? I thought it was 10 days they got to come get me.
I'm just setting a review hearing to see if you're still in Pima County Jail on May 8th.
It's a separate issue, essentially. The two separate things.
Well, I don't understand.
So this is, he can't order the transfer. So if for whatever reason you're still here, you would have a hearing that it could move business.
Well, how long did they try to come get?
That's not within his control. I would speak to your attorney.
I don't have an attorney in that case, and I'm sentenced to DOC. Is that gonna keep me from going to DOC?
Most likely, no.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
All right, thank you.
Your Honor, this is a no name.
Okay. Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
I'm Cruz Elena.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Cruz Elena. Cruz Elena. Cruz Elena.
Cruz Elena?
Yes.
So your first name is Elena?
Yes, Cruz, C-R-U-Z.
So is it E-L-E-N-A?
Yes.
Do you have a middle name?
But just Elena. E-L-E-N-A.
And last name is Cruz?
First name is Cruz, C-R-U-Z.
Oh, first name is Cruz. Last name is Elena? Is that correct?
Last name is C-U-E-L-L-A-R.
So is it Cruz Elena? How do you say the last name?
C-U-E-L-L-A-R.
Alar?
C-U-E-L-L-A-R.
Okay. And your date of birth?
11/25/87.
Give me 1 second. You run that.
One more, I don't.
Hold on.
Go for that 5. What they said he decided to do himself go upstairs.
Yeah. Ms. Quaylar, we're gonna need to come back to you. It looks like you have a warrant in city court. And so jail, is it possible to talk with her in a little bit?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, ma'am, it'll just be a little bit, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, this is Reno Anthony.
Thank you. All right, you're Mr. Reno?
Yes,
All right, good morning.
or
So this is a review hearing on your out-of-county cases, your Maricopa County Superior Court case. You still have local charges pending where you're held on bond, so we're going to continue this hearing to May 8th at 9 o'clock. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
thank you.
You're welcome. What was the note that you gave me of Ventura?
Are you in there?
No.
Oh, well, he was seen yesterday. And he got
Oh, this is the two.
separated,
the-
yeah.
Okay.
And there's a copy of what happened yesterday.
Okay, thank you. Morning, sir. Can I have your name, please?
Ruben Ventura.
All right, Mr. Ventura, just give me one moment, okay? Okay. The two criminal damage charges have to be separated?
Yes, so it's, so, sorry, I don't know where. So these ones are the ones that he's going to be seeing, his criminal damage and aggravated brain damage. That's the other charges he was seeing yesterday, and they wanted to separate them.
What were his other charges?
They was dangerous drug and drug paraphernalia.
Ah, okay. And so the bond that's on him right now, that 7,500 is from that?
Is for the
Or
drug.
from everything?
Well, I think it's for everything. Yeah, we don't know.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
I knew what was going on. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right. So, Mr. Ventura, you were seen yesterday, is my understanding, and at that time, there was a $7,500 bond imposed. It looks like it was for presumably everything. It was for all the felony charges that were pending as of yesterday. So it was the dangerous drug possession or use, possession of drug paraphernalia, and then you also have what we're here to talk about today, which is the criminal damage and aggravated criminal damage, both class 5 and class 6 felonies that you were seen on yesterday. those were all combined into one case, and so one bond was set, but the criminal damage has to be set separately from the drug charges, which means that we're here to talk about the bond on the criminal damage charges, as there's already been a bond set on the drug charges. Okay? So that said, there's a $7,500 bond on the drug charges. Ms. Nagley, I have the state's recommendation. I don't know if you are aware of the same circumstances that I just talked about, but I'm wondering what the state's recommendation is in light of the fact that there's a $7,500 bond already set.
Judge, I wasn't aware of that, so for those reasons, we would ask for $1,000 bond instead of the $5,000.
Okay. And Mr. Smith?
Your Honor, given the circumstances and given the fact that the state's recommendation was under $75,000 for the criminal damage, I'd ask for a completely nominal bond of $100 in this. I mean, it sounds like he's already got the amount that reflects the criminal damage in the $7,500.
Just reviewed the interim and the pretrial services report. Mr. Ventura, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,000. You're to have no contact with any alleged victims. Don't go back to the incident locations. The legal defender's office is appointed to represent you for all further proceedings. Your next court date is going to be April 17th at 1:30. That will be a preliminary hearing on this matter. You still have your smart court hearing, and I believe it would be 45 days out on the other preliminary hearing. Let's see. Probably May 22nd. The preliminary hearing. Yeah, that one.
No, she didn't waive the time, so she just gave me the regular April 16th.
Oh, it was May. Okay. April 17th.
16th.
Should I be changing this to the 16th?
Yeah, I think that's what the other one says. Yeah, so this one, if you could get the same date as that, yes, yesterday.
So, correction, Mr. Ventura, it's going to be set April 16th. So you're going to have every preliminary hearing that you have currently set for April 16th at 9, but you will have your smart hearing a week from today. Nope. Yeah, your preliminary hearing is April 17th at 1:30. Smart hearing April 16th at 9. So the 16th and the 17th, Mr. Ventura. Any questions about your court dates?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Adam, Lori?
Morning, can I have your name, please?
Lori Adam.
All right, Ms. Adam, you have a warrant that was issued out of Pima County Justice Court on a criminal trespass. First degree charge from October of 2020. The warrant's requesting a $500 bond. If I were to release you on these charges, Ms. Adam, are you going to appear for future hearings?
Yes, I mean, whatever I need to appear for, I don't understand what you said, but I mean, yeah, whatever I need to appear for, I will appear.
Basically, what I'm saying is that you were arrested back in October of 2020. You were charged with criminal trespass first degree. And I'm inferring that because there was a warrant issued, that means that you didn't go to court like you were supposed to. So my question is, are you going to go to court if I release you on these charges?
Oh, yeah, yes, of course.
Okay. All right. Then I'm going to set a court date and release you on these charges. Your next court date will be, excuse me, May 8th at 8:30 in the morning in Pima County Justice Court. Your conditions of release are have no contact with the alleged victims, don't go back to their residence or workplace. And again, that's dealing with the case from 2020. Okay. And then in addition, you have a Tucson City Court case.
Come on.
All right. You have a citation from April 7th, 2024, charging you with 2 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 1 count of domestic violence, criminal damage. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You have the right to remain silent, the right to be represented by an attorney. Under certain circumstances, an attorney can be appointed to represent you. If you fail to appear for future hearings, a trial can go forward in your absence. You could be convicted and a warrant could issue for your arrest. In addition, if your absence lasts more than 90 days beyond the date of conviction, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Pretrial Services is recommending your release. I'm going to follow that recommendation and release you on these charges. Your conditions of release are to commit no acts of domestic violence, have no contact with any of the alleged victims, which appear to be your roommates. Don't go back to that residence or workplace, so you'll need to find an alternative place to live. No contact with them, don't go back. Next court date is going to be in Tucson City Court on May 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning, and that'll be in front of Judge Perrena. Do you have any questions about that court date?
No.
Okay, then you're excused for today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
Matthew Higby.
Just be 1 minute, Mr. Higby. All right, Mr. Higby, you have, as reading the probable cause statement on the citation, you have a citation from April 8th, 2024, charging you with 2 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, 1 count of domestic violence, threatening or intimidating. I don't have a pretrial services report available.
That doesn't sound right.
Nope.
That's me?
Nope, no, you're right, you're right.
Okay.
Hold on. No, here we go. Sorry. It was 3 warrants out of Pima County Justice Court. You also have some city court cases that we're going to look at, okay?
Mhm.
So the first one is a shoplift, criminal trespass, 2nd degree, and failure to appear in court. The underlying charges are from December 23rd of 2023. Second warrant is a shoplift and failure to appear from February 20th of 2024. Third one is the oldest of the 3. The charges are possession of drug paraphernalia, shoplifting from May 22nd of 2023, and a failure to appear in court. If you were released on these charges, Mr. Higby, what's changed? What will have you report to court?
Being that I've been here now, I don't want to go back. I don't want to be in jail. I actually keep track of my dates. Show up for court.
All right, on these 3 warrants, I will release you on those charges. Next court date's going to be in front of Judge Steele in Pima County Justice Court on May 8th at 8:30 in the morning. Any previously set
All right.
conditions of release you need to abide by. Okay,
Okay. Thank you.
no problem. Now we're going to talk, hold on, we're going to talk about the city court charges.
Okay.
All right, now, city court. You have 5 separate cases. First is a citation from October 27th of 2022 charging you with shoplifting. And there is a failure to appear in court from June 22nd of 2023. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on both of those charges. You have the right to a jury trial on the shoplifting charge, a bench trial on the failure to appear in court. If you fail to appear for future hearings, a trial could go forward in your absence. You could be convicted. A warrant could issue for your arrest. In addition, if your absence lasts more than 90 days beyond the date of conviction, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. You do have the right to remain silent and the right to be represented by an attorney. Under certain circumstances, an attorney can be appointed to represent you. You also have a citation from June 9th of 2023 charging you with possession of drug paraphernalia. There's also a failure to appear complaint from June 22nd of 2023. All enter pleas of not guilty have the right to a bench trial, as well as all of the other charges, other rights that I previously mentioned. We have a citation from September 2nd of 2023 charging you with possession of narcotics paraphernalia, criminal trespass third degree, and possession of a prescription drug without a prescription. I'll enter pleas of not guilty on those charges. You have the right to a bench trial. There's also a failure to appear in court from February 7th of 2024 related to those charges. I'll enter a plea of not guilty on that. It's bench trial eligible. You have a citation from January 25th, 2024, charging you with criminal trespass second degree. Under plea of not guilty, you have the right to a bench trial on that charge, as well as the other rights that I previously referenced. Citation from February 5th, 2024, charging you with possession of drug paraphernalia. Under plea of not guilty, you have the right to a bench trial, as well as the other rights I previously referenced. And then finally, you have a citation from April 7th, 2024, charging you with operating a bicycle on the wrong side of the road. That's a civil traffic ticket. And possession of drug paraphernalia under a plea of not guilty and not responsible. You have the right to a bench trial and the other rights I previously referenced. I'm going to impose a bond in the amount of $250. I will appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. You need to abide by any previously set conditions. And that will include, don't go back to any of the incident locations, have no contact with any alleged victims.
All right.
Your next court date is going to be April 15th, which is a week from now. On videos, if you're still in custody, it's at 1:45. If you post the $250 bond, your next court date is going to be May 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay? Any questions, sir?
Am I leaving or am I staying here today?
I imposed a bond, so you're going to be held on bond unless you post the bond. The bond is $250.
I won't be able to pay that, so I'll be.
Then your next court date will be a week from now at 1:45. Okay? All right. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Your excuse for today.
Good.
Good morning. At the jail, can I have your name, please?
Chad Gregory Kent.
Thank you. All right. Did the victim want to be heard on that? No. Okay. All right, Mr. Kent, you have a citation from April 8th, 2024, charging you with two counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, one count of domestic violence, threatening or intimidating. These cases are in Marana Municipal Court on Civic Center Drive. Pretrial Services is recommending your release with some conditions. My understanding is there is an alleged victim on the Teams meeting. Is that true? Somebody wanted to make a statement about release conditions?
Not that I'm aware of, Your Honor, but if
No.
there is someone here,
Talking to the 16 other people on this
Oh,
call. Hello?
are you talking to us, sir?
I
Yeah, we're with a parent.
of Mr. Kent?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want to make a statement with
Yes.
regards to conditions of release?
We were just hoping, sir, that he would cooperate, and we would like to get him some help through his VA in regards to his depression and PTS. That's what we are recommending for him.
Okay. I don't know, well, there is a veterans court available in Tucson City Court, and I believe it's a regional court, so it's always possible to talk to the Marana judge to see about transferring to veterans court. That might work out well for you, sir. I'll make a note on your minute entry that perhaps they can talk to you at your next hearing. Okay.
Okay. I don't quite understand everything, but,
Is he being released? That is, I guess, our question for today.
So I note that when pretrial services spoke with, is this mother and stepfather? What I'm talking?
Yes,
Okay. When pretrial services
Yes.
spoke with both of you, it indicates that you had no objection to release or contact or return to your residence. Is that correct?
that's correct.
And I'm going to follow that recommendation. So I'm going to release Mr. Kent. Mr. Kent, you'll be released on these charges. Your conditions of release are to commit no acts of domestic violence. I'm going to set an arraignment in Marana on May 1st at 10 o'clock in the morning. Very important that you appear for that hearing. And you can talk to the Marana judge at that time to see whether or not a transfer of your case to Veterans Court is possible or appropriate. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any questions, sir?
No, sir.
All right. Then you are excused for today. You'll be released on these charges.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
do this, can you come down and pick them up?
Yeah, you should be able to go to the jail to pick them up in the next couple of hours. Okay?
And where is that?
You can Google it. It's on Silver Lake and Mission, the jail facility.
Silver Lake and Mission. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Good morning at the jail. Can I have your name, please?
Morning, Brandon Mendibles, Your Honor.
Give me one moment.
I'm not sure if that has my name spelled out in Angel. Oh, it says Angle there. That might just be a typo there. Go make sure that's spelled real quick.
Reading the pretrial, I'm sorry, the probable cause statement. I corrected the middle name. Okay.
Well, that's,
It's
Thank
just,
you.
it was just a typo. That's correct on the citation. You're Brandon Angel Mendibles.
that's correct.
Okay. You have a citation from April 7th, 2024, charging you with 1 count of domestic violence assault. Pretrial Services is recommending your release, and I am going to release you on these charges. Your conditions of release are to commit no acts of domestic violence. Your next court date's going to be in Pima County Justice Court in front of Judge Steele on May 8th at 10:30 in the morning. That will be an arraignment. Do you have any questions about your court date?
No, just show up on time, just with an ID or just me?
You with an ID would be great, but most importantly, make sure you're there on time.
Okay,
All right. Thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
all right, thank you.
Sure. Morning. Can I have your name, please?
Audrey Bermudez?
And Jill, we're ready on Cruz, Quellar, whenever she's available.
The no name, Your Honor?
Yes.
By Cruz?
Yeah.
Oh.
First name Cruz, last name Quellar, Cuellar. All right. Ms. Bermudez, you have a couple of different cases pending in Tucson City Court. We're going to talk about those. You had court 6 days ago in front of Judge Sergio on the first case, which was a February 20th, 2024 citation charging you with 2 counts of domestic violence and disorderly conduct, 1 count of domestic violence criminal damage, 1 count of domestic violence criminal trespass 3rd degree. You also had pending February 23rd, 2024 citation for, looks like disorderly conduct. March 12th, 2024 citation for domestic violence criminal trespass 3rd degree and 2 counts of domestic violence disorderly conduct. March 12th, 2024 charge of disorderly conduct. All of those were pending, and it looks like you were in court on April 2nd and given a May 7th court date. You also have 2 citations. Both are from April 7th, 2024. The first one is 5 counts of domestic violence and disorderly conduct and 1 count of domestic violence criminal trespass 3rd degree. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You have the right to remain silent, the right to be represented by an attorney. Under certain circumstances, an attorney can be appointed to represent you. If you fail to appear for future hearings, a trial can go forward in your absence. You could be convicted. A warrant could issue for your arrest. In addition, if your absence lasts more than 90 days beyond the date of conviction, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. Pretrial Services is not recommending your release, and I'm not going to release you on these charges. I'm going to set bond in the amount of $1,500. Your conditions of release are to have no contact of any kind with any alleged victims. Don't go back to any alleged victim's residence or workplace or the incident location. I will appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you, to commit no acts of domestic violence. Your next court date is going to be April 15th at 1:45. That'll be a video hearing if you're still in custody. Otherwise, that May 7th at 9 o'clock date in front of Judge Sergio will be your next court date if you are out of custody, if you post bond. Okay? Any questions about your court date?
No.
Okay, you're excused. Thanks.
This is Cruz, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for your patience. All right. So you have a warrant out of Tucson City Court. It was in front of Judge Shetter back in 2021. You had been sentenced on February 10th of 2021 to 24 months of unsupervised probation where you had to get some classes done. State never filed a petition to revoke probation on that, so I'm gonna quash the warrant and I'm gonna waive any proofs due to the expiration of probation. So that warrant won't pop up anymore.
Yeah, I'm allergic to pancakes, but I tried calling my brother and I think it was on 12/24. Like, good job. I take the bus, so I was just checking just to make sure. I got a reaction with syrup and that, so I had to get that shingles injection and then I got strep or pre-trip strep.
Yeah.
Just in case. And then I have to pay, and I did pay, I think it was like 300. Then I've been drug testing, and usually I call just for my daughters.
Are you still with Hope?
Yeah, I only go, but I went to one Kodak. They actually let me go, but Coke doesn't let me go. Don't let me go to the actual food.
All
The domestic violence in England.
All right.
I drink Coke, I just have to make sure I can come in. And my nephews do, the husband, a brain surgery, and the one with the.
So, Ms. Quillar, if I release you from custody, and we're gonna talk about the new pending charges in a second, but if I release you from custody, would you come to Tucson City Court to talk to me in mental health court about the newest charges that you have?
Yes.
All right. So those new charges, you have a ticket from April 7th of this year. The charges are criminal trespass, third degree, disorderly conduct, and refusal to provide a truthful name. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You have the right to a bench trial, which is a trial where a judge listens to the evidence and decides if you're guilty or not guilty. The right to remain silent, the right to be represented by an attorney. Under certain circumstances, an attorney can be appointed to represent you. If you fail to appear for future hearings, a trial can go forward in your absence. You could be convicted and a warrant could issue for your arrest. In addition, if your absence lasts more than 90 days beyond the date of conviction, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. In other words, another part of that too is it's real important to understand if you don't come to court, a warrant can issue, okay? All right, so I'm gonna release you on this new citation. Your next court date is going to be April 23rd at 9 o'clock in the morning. Do you promise to come to city court on that date?
Yes.
That's 2 weeks from tomorrow, okay? 2 weeks from tomorrow. Your conditions of release are have no contact with any alleged victims. Don't go back to any incident location, okay?
Okay.
And there'll be a COPE representative at court on that date, so you'll be able to talk to COPE too. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Any questions?
No, I think that's what I need.
All right. You're excused for today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Morales?
Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
Jessica Ann Morales.
Ms. Morales, you had been sentenced in front of Judge Hale in Tucson City Court back on October 17th of 2023. It was on three separate domestic violence charges from two separate dates. At that time, you had been placed on 3 years total probation. The first 12 months was through corrective solutions probation. The last 24 months was unsupervised. On February 1st of 2024, Corrective Solutions Probation filed a petition to revoke your probation, alleging that you failed to successfully complete your probation in that you tested positive for alcohol and that you failed to complete your domestic violence classes. I'm going to enter a denial of those allegations. So there's a limit to what I can ask you, Ms. Morales, and I'm trying to make sure that I respect your rights. So bear with me while I try to formulate the right words so that I'm not asking something I shouldn't ask. So this petition was filed after you've been on probation for a while. So you know where Corrective Solutions is located. You can re-engage with them. You can keep working with them. Okay?
Yes.
I'm going to release you on this petition because I'm most interested in that you follow through and get the treatment that you need to get done. Okay? So I'm going to release you on these. You need to make sure you follow up with Corrective Solutions. You need to report to them within 24 hours. Okay?
Okay. And that's at the city court, correct?
They are, yeah, I believe they're on the fourth floor. Mhm.
Yeah.
And so you can check in with them.
So within the next one, I get released 24 hours.
So I'm going to release you. I'm going to release you now on these charges. It'll take a couple of hours for them to process that. But I'm going to release you, and your next court date's going to be May 8th, which is a month from now at 9 o'clock in the morning. And that'll also be in front of Judge Hale. But I want you to report to Corrective Solutions within 24 hours of now. So in other words, if you can't do it today when you get out, you need to do it tomorrow. Okay? So that way you can re-engage with them and get things on track. Okay?
Okay. Now, is the court, is it gonna be in person or like Zoom?
It's May 8th at 9. I believe that's an in-person time.
Oh, okay.
And that's better for petitions to revoke probation anyways, to do it in person. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
Okay, thank you. No, thank you so much.
No problem. You're excused for today. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Zachary Thomas Roach.
All right, Mr. Roach, you have a citation from April 7th, 2024, charging you with assault, disorderly conduct, and threatening or intimidating. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You have the right to a bench trial on those charges, which is a trial where a judge decides if you're guilty or not guilty. The right to remain silent, the right to be represented by an attorney. Under certain circumstances, an attorney can be appointed to represent you. If you fail to appear for future hearings, the trial can go forward in your absence. You could be convicted and a warrant could issue for your arrest. In addition, if your absence lasts more than 90 days beyond the date of conviction, you can lose your right to a direct appeal.
Understood.
There's no pretrial services report available. All right, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $750. I'm concerned about community and alleged victim safety based upon what's alleged in the citation, the probable cause statement. So I'm going to set bond in the amount of $750. The conditions of release are to possess and consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, possess no firearms or weapons, have no contact of any kind with any of the alleged victims, don't go back to the victim's residence or workplace. I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. Your next court date is going to be, it's actually supposed to be switched up.
I got a question, Your Honor.
If it's about your case or anything specific other than what I've already said, there's an attorney just to your left that might be able to answer those questions. Any questions?
It is not, I'm just wondering how I pay that bail. Or am I going, or I'm staying here or getting released?
One on May 8th at 1:30.
Thank you.
Then I can leave today.
If you're still in custody, your next court date will be April 15th at 1:45, which is a week from now. If you post the bond, then your next court date is May 8th at 1:30. That'll be in front of Judge Sergio. You do have a city public defender appointed to represent you for all further hearings. All right, and it'll be in front of Judge Sergio, like I said. Do you have any questions about your court date?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right, then you're excused for now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Morning, can I have your name, please?
Francisco Agent Villavicencio.
All right, Mr. Villavicencio, you have a citation from April 8th, 2024, charging you with a civil violation, traffic violation of walking in the road and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You have the right to a bench trial on those charges, the right to remain silent, the right to be represented by an attorney. Under certain circumstances, an attorney can be appointed to represent you. If you fail to appear for future hearings, a trial could go forward in your absence. You could be convicted. A warrant could issue for your arrest. In addition, if your absence lasts more than 90 days beyond the date of conviction, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. We also have a citation from February 19th, 2024, charging with criminal trespass, third degree, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Under pleas of not guilty on those charges, you have the same rights that I just previously mentioned. I'm going to release you on these charges. Your next court date is going to be in front of Judge Verena in Tucson City Court on May 7th at 2:30 in the afternoon. Your conditions of release or don't go back to any of the incident locations. Do you have any questions about your court date, sir?
No, still.
Okay, and you're excused for today. Thank you. Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
Yes, my name's Christy Wagner. Christy with a K.
Christy with a K?
Yes, sir.
Kristy?
Yes, sir.
All right.
My middle name is Lee. It's listed there. My last name is Wagner.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Ms. Wagner, you have a felony interim complaint from April 7th, 2024, alleging child abuse. I will appoint the County Public Defender's Office to represent you for purposes of today's hearing. Pretrial Services is recommending release on your own recognizance with some conditions. The County Attorney's Office has the same recommendation that you be, well, it's different. It's released on pretrial services as opposed to release on your own recognizance. Mr. Smith?
Well, I think given the lack of criminal history, I think release on our own recognizance is appropriate, although we would be fine with either that or pretrial services, Your Honor.
Ms. Wagner, I'm gonna release you on your own recognizance on this felony interim complaint. Your conditions of release are do not drive without a valid driver's license, possess and consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, have no contact of any kind and in any way with the alleged victims, which are the 2 children. Don't go back to the incident location. Which office am I appointing to represent? Thank you. I will appoint the County Public Defender's Office to represent you for all further proceedings. Your next court date's going to be April 29th at 1:30. That will be a preliminary hearing on these matters. Any questions about your court date, ma'am?
No, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. You're excused for today.
Also, we'll take a left, and it goes better, and shouldn't take.
Cisneros, this is the Spanish speaker, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Interpreter present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, sir. Are you Omar Cisneros?
Buenos días, señor. ¿Es usted Omar Cisneros? Yes.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Cisneros, you have 4 separate warrants out of Pima County Justice Court.
Bueno, señor Cisneros, usted tiene 3 órdenes de arresto por un juez del Tribunal de Juzgado de Paz del Condado de Pima.
The first is for a DUI from back on June 1st of 2016.
El primero es para un cargo manejando bajo influencia el 1 de junio de 2016.
You have a warrant from December 22nd of 2023, charging you with driving on a suspended license and displaying a fictitious plate.
También tiene un cargo del 22 de diciembre de 2023 por manejando con licencia suspendida y mostrando una placa falsa.
A warrant from an incident from August 30th of 2020, domestic violence threatening or intimidating.
Y también una orden de arresto de un asunto de violencia doméstica del 3 de 30 de agosto 2020, amenazas e intimidaciones bajo violencia doméstica.
And a warrant from an incident that's alleged to have occurred on November 15th of 2019.
Y una orden de arresto de un juez de un incidente que se alega que ocurrió el 15 de noviembre del 2019.
Charges are 1 count of domestic violence disorderly conduct and 1 count of disorderly conduct not alleged to be an act of domestic violence.
Y se alega que es un cargo de violencia doméstica, no, perdón, un cargo de conducta contra el orden público bajo violencia doméstica, y el otro cargo es conducta contra el orden público de no violencia doméstica.
Sir, I am going to impose bond in the amount of $1,500.
Voy a ponerle una fianza en la cantidad de $1,500.
I will appoint Robin Auld to represent you.
Voy a nombrarle a la abogada Robin All a que lo represente.
whether you post bond or whether or not you remain in custody, your next court date will be April 10th at 10 a.m.
Si acaso usted deposita la fianza o si acaso no deposita la fianza, su siguiente audiencia va a ser el 10 de abril a las 10 de la mañana.
I'm setting the bond on the DUI charge, but it's just one bond. I'm not going to set separate bonds, okay?
Solamente voy a programar la fianza sobre el cargo de manejando ebrio. No voy a fijar muchas fianzas, solamente voy a fijar una fianza, ¿está bien?
Your conditions of release are to abide by any previously set conditions of release, okay?
Y sus condiciones de excarcelación son que usted ha de cumplir con cualquier otra condición de liberación o excarcelación que se le impuso previamente, ¿está bien?
Any questions, sir?
¿Tiene preguntas, señor?
Yeah, I went to the court because at least one court, and that's where I have these issues. And I was working and I was assisting you to different courts that I didn't know there was a date because I have the paper for that and I read the letter. I write for you guys just I then went back and I tried to fix everything little by little. And this is what's this week.
I understand what you're saying, sir. I'm looking at some of these cases that go back 8 years. There's more than one missed court date if you have cases that span from 2016 to 2023. And I'm concerned that it's going to be another situation where there's more missed court dates. So that's why I'm imposing the bond as part of what I need to ensure is alleged victim and community safety, as well as whether or not an individual is going to return to court. And you should have these cases wrapped up one way, shape, or form, trial, plea, or some other disposition sooner rather than later for yourself, as well as for alleged victims in the community. And so I'm not going to change the bond amount if that's what you're asking.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. You're excused for today.
So, which one?
May the interpreter be excused, Your Honor.
Jill, do we have any other Spanish-speaking defendants today?
No, Your Honor, but we do have a Arabic speaker.
Yes, I believe we have the Arabic interpreter online. Thank you. Madam Interpreter, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you kindly. Have a good day. Bye.
You as well. Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
مرحبا صباح الخير ممكن تقول اسمك لو سمحت؟
وسام أنور.
وسام أنور.
All right, sir, you have a citation in Tucson City Court from April 7th of 2024.
عندك أنت مخالفة سير بمحكمة مدينة توسون من تاريخ 7/4/2024.
Charges are 3 counts of domestic violence assault with no injury.
عفوا مو مخالفة سير، مخالفة عنف منزلي فيها 3 تهم بنفس التهمة، يعني بنفس الاعتداء أو العنف المنزلي بدون تسبب بإصابات.
One count of domestic violence and disorderly conduct.
وتهمة واحدة من العنف المنزلي اللي هي إساءة التصرف والسلوك.
I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty of the right to a bench trial on those charges.
رح اكتب لك انه حاليا مبدئيا انت غير مذنب قيد الانتظار للمحاكمه بدون محلفين، يعني في المحكمه مع القاضي.
You have the right to remain silent, the right to be represented by an attorney.
من حقك تلتزم الصمت وانه يكون في محامي موكل عنك يدافع عنك في المحكمه.
If you fail to appear for future hearings, a trial can go forward in your absence.
إذا أنت ما جيت على المواعيد اللي في المستقبل يعطوك إياها في المحكمة، فالمحاكمة ممكن تمضي قدما غيابيا وممكن يحكموك غيابي.
You could be convicted and a warrant could issue for your arrest.
ممكن انه تجرم او يثبت عليك الجرم التهمه وممكن يصدر امر من المحكمه بالقبض عليك وسجنك.
In addition, if your absence lasts more than 90 days beyond the date of conviction, you can lose your right to a direct appeal.
واذا بالاضافه اذا انت تغيبت لمده اكثر من 90 يوم بعد تاريخ اصدار الحكم وما اجيت للمحكمه فبيسقط حقك بالاستئناف او الطعن بالحكم.
Pretrial Services is recommending your release on your own recognizance, and I'm going to follow that recommendation.
خدمات ما قبل المحاكمة في السجن بيوصوا أو بينصحوا بالإفراج عنك على مسؤوليتك الشخصية وأنا سأمتثل لهذه التوصية.
I'm going to release you on these charges.
سأفرج عنك بخصوص هذه التهم.
Your conditions of release are to commit no acts of domestic violence.
شروط الإفراج هي إنه أنت ما تقوم بتنفيذ أي عمل من أعمال العنف المنزلي.
Have no contact of any kind and in any way with any alleged victim.
وإنه ما يكون في تواصل ولا بأي شكل بينك وبين أي واحد من المتضررين في القضية أو الضحايا في القضية.
Do not go back to any alleged victim's residence or the incident location.
وما تروح لأي من العناوين اللي ساكنين فيهم هدول المتضررين في القضية أو مكان عملهم، لا مكان السكن ولا مكان العمل، ولا ترجع لهذه العناوين هذه.
Your next court date will be in front of Judge Maldonado in Tucson City Court on May 13th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
الموعد القادم للمحكمة عندك جلسة في تاريخ 13/5 الساعة 2 أمام القاضي مالدونادو.
Do you have any questions about your court date, sir?
في عندك أي سؤال بخصوص تاريخ موعد المحكمة القادمة؟
لا ما عندي، بس كان عندي سؤال انه بس احب اعرف انه هو انا اللي ضربت وهن اللي ضربوني، انا ما ضربت احد.
No, but I wanted to ask, in this case, I was the one beaten up. They beat me up. I didn't beat up anyone.
So this isn't the time for a discussion about the cases. I just want to make sure you understand where you need to be and when you need to be there. Do you understand the court date?
هذا الوقت غير مخصص لمناقشة تفاصيل القضية وإنه مين ضرب مين ولا هي، هذا في المحكمة تروح تسوي. التعليمات اللي أعطيناك إياها إنه إمتى تروح للمحكمة، تاريخ والوقت. ما في عندك سؤال بخصوص هذول مفهوم؟
أنا جدا آسف على السؤال.
شو ليه؟
أنا آسف جدا على السؤال وأكرر اعتذاري. شكرا جزيلا.
I am very sorry again. Sorry about asking this question now, and thank you very much.
It's not a problem at all, sir. You're presumed innocent. And you have the right to a trial to contest the charges. All right, sir. You're excused for today.
ما في أي مشكلة. أنت تعتبر مبدئيا غير مذنب إلى أن تثبت إدانتك خلال المحاكمة إذا أثبتت، ووقتها بتوضح الأمور. شكرا، أنت حتفرج عنك وشكرا.
شكرا جزيلا. شكرا جزيلا.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your Honor, may the interpreter be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Judge Blow. Have a great day.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you.
Just get a different county jail.
Martinez.
Morning. Can I have your name, please?
Michael Martinez, Zamorano.
All right, sir. You have a warrant that was issued out of Pima County Superior Court. There's no bond request, but it's in relation to a December of 2023 discharging a firearm in the city limits. Pretrial Services is recommending your release on your own recognizance. The county attorney's office is recommending a bond in the amount of $2,500, and should that bond be posted, that you be required to report to pretrial services. Mr. Smith?
Given his lack of criminal history, I am inclined to agree with pretrial services recommendation. If you are not, I'd ask that he be released to pretrial services instead of a bond in place. And if you believe a bond should be in place, I think $1,000 is an appropriate amount with pretrial services as a requirement upon posting bond.
Thank you. Ms. Nathan, anything the state has to add?
Judge, just given the nature of the offense where he was discharging a firearm into an area where there were other people around, we would ask for the $2,500 bond.
Noting PSA scores of 1 and 1 and no criminal history, I'm going to release you, Mr. Martinez Zambrano, on your own recognizance. Your next court date is going to be April 15th at 1:30. That will be an arraignment in Pima County Superior Court. I will appoint the County Public Defender's Office to represent you, and your conditions are possess no firearms or other weapons. Okay, so in other words, court date 1 week from today at 1:30. Failure to appear can result in the issuance of a warrant. Do you have any questions about your court date, sir? Okay. All right, then you're excused for today. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Can I have your name, please?
James Christopher Rosbono. Is there a miscommunication on this because?
Hang on one second, sir. You have the right to remain silent and the right to be represented by an attorney. I'm appointing the County Public Defender's Office to represent you for purposes of today's hearing. If you need a second to speak to the lawyer on your left, I'll be happy to give you that moment.
Yeah. 1 second, Your Honor.
Sure.
Okay, we're ready, Your Honor.
Thank you. Just be 1 moment. I'm reviewing the pretrial services report again. All right, sir, you have a warrant that was issued out of Maricopa County Superior Court. There's no bond amount indicated. It's for a dangerous drugs charge or charges. I am aware that, according to pretrial services, you had filed a motion to quash the warrant on March 20th, and there was some sort of response March 25th. I don't have the result of whatever that response was. So I am aware of that. The pretrial services is not recommending your release on these charges. Mr. Smith?
So I've spoken to Mr. Riccobono today, and it seems that there's been a miscommunication between him and what he's needed to do between his two cases. He didn't understand that he needed to report back to Maricopa while he was trying to handle this. then that created an issue there, as you can kind of see in the motion to quash, although I know you don't have the results for it. His wife had paid a bond in both that matter and this matter. He's not trying to dodge his court cases. His wife is currently in the hospital, and that's his number one priority, along with taking care of these cases, which he has been trying to do prior to today. So I'd ask that you release him to enhanced pretrial services. If you are not inclined to do that, I ask that a relatively small bond of $1,000 be placed in lieu of a release today.
Thank you. I know I don't have a state's recommendation. Ms. Nagley, does the state wish to provide a position on anything?
No, Your Honor, the state takes no position on this case.
Okay. All right, sir, I'm noting that there's not a bond amount requested. It seemed as though you were trying to address the warrant. So I'm going to release you on the Maricopa County warrant. You need to call Maricopa County to check in with them. They'll give you a court date.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you so
Very
much.
important that you do that. And
Thank
so
you.
I'm not going to give you another court date. You just need to call for a court date. All right.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. My wife's at the hospital being intubated. I really do appreciate this.
No problem. We're still going to talk, though. You still have a city court case. Okay.
Thank you.
Give me 1 second.
Thank you.
You have a citation from April 7th, 2024, charging you with criminal damage and disorderly conduct. I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty. You have the right to a bench trial on those charges, the right to remain silent, the right to be represented by an attorney. If you fail to appear for future hearings, the trial could go forward in your absence. You could be convicted. A warrant could issue for your arrest. In addition, if your absence lasts more than 90 days beyond the date of conviction, you can lose your right to a direct appeal.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to release you on the city court case. Have no contact with any alleged victims. Don't go back to the incident location. Next court date in city court in Tucson is going to be May 8th at 1:30 in the afternoon. Any questions about your court date?
So May 8th, I have court date. That's this, so the next month, so May 8th, and then the next court date is going to be, I don't have what it says, the contact
So
Phoenix.
in Maricopa, are you on pretrial in Maricopa?
Yeah.
So you need to call the court, and you need to call pretrial services to make sure that you follow through with everything that you have going on there. Okay. Second, and then they'll set up a court date, all that. Second is you have your city court case set for May 8th. You might be able to appear remotely, like by Zoom. You can contact Tucson City Court. That way you don't have to worry about trying to navigate 2 different counties at the same time. But you are responsible for appearing in one way, shape, or form for each hearing, certainly in person for the felony. Okay?
So Pima, is it municipal
Court or just Superior Court?
Tucson City Court, the one down by the Ronstadt Center.
Okay. What time was that hearing, Your Honor, for Tucson City Court?
City Court, May 8th at 1:30.
Okay. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
No problem. Take care.
So I'm gonna be in this thing. Fighting.
Good morning, sir. Can I have your name, please?
Kevin Riley.
All right, Mr. Riley, you have a felony interim complaint from April 7th, 2024, alleging organized retail theft. This court did not find probable cause for felony shoplifting. The pretrial services report does not recommend your release. County attorney's recommendation is a $5,000 bond plus pretrial services reporting requirements if that bond is posted. Ms. Nagley, anything the state wants to add to its recommendation?
Nothing additional, Your Honor.
And Mr. Smith?
If the court is inclined to require a bond, and we ask that it be lower than $5,000, I think $1,000 is appropriate given his financial situation.
All right, Mr. Riley, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $2,000, specifically taking note of your financial circumstances. Conditions of release are to have no contact with any alleged victims. Don't go back to the incident location. I will appoint the county public defender's office to represent you for all further proceedings. Your next court date on this case is going to be April 18th at 1:30. That'll be a preliminary hearing on this matter. If you do post bond, you need to report to pretrial services and participate in any monitoring or treatment as they direct. Do you have any questions about that court date, sir?
Oh,
All right, in addition, sir, you have a couple of cases in Justice Court and in City Court. As far as Pima County Justice Court is concerned, you have a warrant from a January 2024 case, a warrant from June of 2021 case, and a warrant from a July of 2021 case. Each one of those is in Tucson City Court. On that, I'm going to set bond in the amount of $250. Conditions of release are to abide by your previously set conditions of release. I'm going to appoint Carlos Betancourt Morales to represent you. You'll have a case management conference in front of Judge Ball in Pima County Justice Court set on April 9th, which is tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Any questions about that court date, sir?
Nope.
Finally, you have a couple of cases in Tucson City Court. You have a petition to revoke probation in some cases in City Court, 2 cases. You were sentenced back on September 15th of 2022 on some criminal trespass, resisting arrest, shoplifting charges. At that time, you were placed on 2 years of unsupervised probation. The state's alleging that you failed to successfully complete that probation, and that 1, that you had failed to appear for a review hearing, and 2, that you failed to comply with your treatment requirements. I'm going to enter a denial of the allegations. I'm going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you. So this is I'm also going to set another case where you had been sentenced on April 25th, 2023 on a shoplifting assault disorderly conduct case. I'm going to set that for a sentence review hearing. There's no petition to revoke probation on that case. I'm just going to set it along with it. Okay. And then you also have some cases that are pending. So those right now, the ones that we just talked about in city court, those are set for April 11th at 1:45. Oh, you're right. And I'm going to release you on those probation dockets. All right, now, thank you. All right. And then you have case from April 14th, 2023, pending that's been warrant status since June 6th of 2023. You have a citation from August 8th, 2023, charging you with assault and enter a plea of not guilty. You have the right to remain silent, the right to be represented by an attorney. You have the right to a bench trial on that charge. Under certain circumstances, an attorney can be appointed to represent you. If you fail to appear for future hearings, the trial can go forward in your absence. You could be convicted. A warrant could issue for your arrest. If your absence lasts more than 90 days beyond the date of conviction, you can lose your right to a direct appeal. You also have a citation from September 2nd, 2023, charging you with criminal trespass, third degree, possession of drug paraphernalia. Under pleas of not guilty on those charges, you have the right to a bench trial as well as the other rights that I previously mentioned. You have a citation from September 16th, 2023, charging you with criminal trespass, third degree, and possession of narcotics paraphernalia. Under pleas of not guilty, same rights that I just previously referenced apply in that case as well. I'm going to impose a bond in the amount of $250 on these city court cases. You're released on the petition to revoke probation, but you have a bond of $250. Conditions are have no contact with any alleged victims. Don't go back to any incident location. I am appointing the city public defender's office to represent you. Your next court date, like I said before, for city court, April 11th at 1:45. That will be a video hearing in front of me in mental health court. If you post bond or you're out of custody on your charges, you need to appear on April 23rd at 9 o'clock in the morning to city court. Do you have any questions about your court date, sir?
No.
All right, then you're excused for today. Thank you.
Your Honor, Taylor is at the hospital.
Taylor is at the hospital? Okay.
Yes.
Any objection to continuing that to this evening in the party?
No objection from the state.
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Wheeler, Your Honor.
Just 1 second, Your Honor. All right, so we're ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Morning, can I have your name, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Anthony John Wheeler.
All right, Mr. Wheeler, you have a warrant that was issued out of Pima County Superior Court for December of 2023 and January of 2024 burglary and trafficking and stolen property charges. In that warrant, there is a $2,500 bond request. Pretrial Services is recommending your release under the supervision of pretrial services. It's actually their enhanced supervision program. The county attorney's recommendation is that the bond amount requested in the warrant be imposed, so a $2,500 bond. And should that bond be posted, that you then be required to report to enhanced pretrial services release. Mr. Smith.
So I've spoken to Mr. Wheeler about this case. He is trying to work with his case manager at COPE. He has their contact information in front of me. He's ready to contact them once he's able to. So I'd ask that you follow pretrial recommendation and release him to enhanced pretrial services so he can make use of that contact with COPE that he has. If you do not think release to pretrial services is appropriate today, I'd ask that the bond be $1,500 instead of $2,500. A little lower given his circumstances that he's in right now, and allow him to get the help that he needs with COPE. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Nagley, anything the state would like to add to its recommendation?
Nothing additional, Judge. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. Mr. Wheeler, you were previously ordered to abide by pretrial services release, and the information I have is that did not happen. So I'm going to impose a bond in the amount of $2,000. If the bond is posted, then you can participate in pretrial services in the enhanced supervision program and participate in any monitoring or treatment as they require. You are to abide by any previously set conditions of release. I'm going to appoint the County Public Defender's Office to represent you for all further proceedings. There's an arraignment scheduled for April 15th. That's 1 week from today at 1:30 in the afternoon. That will be in Pima County Superior Court. Do you have any questions about that court date, sir?
No, Your Honor. I have no money right now due to not having a job for a month or so. I have a car to put up, but I really have no way to get that done.
Okay. You also have, Mr. Wheeler, a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court from a December of 2023 shoplifting charge. I'm going to release you on that case. You need to abide by your previously set conditions of release. I'm going to set an arraignment on May 8th at 8:30 in the morning. That'll be in Pima County Justice Court in front of Judge Steele. If you're still in custody, they will have notice that you're there. Okay. Any questions about your court date, sir?
No, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're excused for today. All right. That is all I have, except that I believe Aho is going to be addressing Cahill. Okay. Thank you all. Take care.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Joe.